So she is an ice mage, which is very interesting. Now it's like dizzy. Like I would have actually expected even fire or even earth, because she has like a little flower thing here. So maybe like an earth mage, and there's not that much earth mage representation. She didn't even have to be water. That's just they decided. Like nothing that she did specifically reminded me of water type.
Attacks all enemies with a high chance of decreasing defense for 2 turns. The damage dealt by this skill increases every time it is.
What's going on, guys? It is time. This is Dapper Cash. We got the suit jacket on. Going over our girl LULUCA, a shaman of Rekos who crossed the universe for revenge. It is time to do a character reveal video. I haven't done one of these in a while. That's always a lie because I've done it the last time a character came out. But the update is pretty lackluster. So we're just gonna do a video on her and just talk and discuss about her and enjoy. Breathe it in about how cool she actually is. We're gonna watch this video. You're gonna see my reaction live. I don't know anything about this character. As you can see, I always skip over. I always give you guys the raw reaction, just so you know. I don't know, it's fun. But she looks pretty cool. She looks like, I feel like, not like her actual clothing is more cool than what she is. Like she looks like, you know, anime girl number 5. But you know, maybe her kit makes her anime girl fusion number 1 1694. All those things, I don't know what that means, but let's check the video out. Oh baby, the facial expressions.
An alien girl who traveled across the universe,
Another alien,
seeking revenge against Straze
Yep.
for bringing ruin
Oh, his name
to
is
her
Straze.
world. She's determined to make Straze pay for what he has done to her friends and restore her homeworld.
Yeah, he's been fucking up a lot of stuff actually.
Wild Wave, a skill that attacks a single enemy. The damage dealt by this skill increases as the enemy's health decreases.
Mercedes, where you at?
Rekos Blessing, a buff skill that increases the defense of all allies while also granting barriers, reducing a significant portion of incoming damage.
Yes, a
The
defense
strength
buffer.
of the barrier increases proportional to LULUCA's attack.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wave of Vengeance, a skill that attacks all enemies with a high chance of decreasing defense for 2 turns. The damage dealt by this skill increases every time it is used, creating the potential for high damage given enough time.
Which is that good for PvP. But we're not going to talk about that.
LULUCA is an ice elemental mage who can decrease the defense of all enemies while increasing the defense of all allies.
Interesting.
Wave of Vengeance has a high chance of decreasing the defense of all enemies.
How high?
And can be very beneficial when used at the start of the battle.
Well, duh.
As Rekos Blessing grants increased defense and barriers to all allies, it's best utilized right before an enemy uses a powerful skill. Also, barrier strength increases proportional to LULUCA's attack, so equipping her for high attack is recommended.
She has, and it's funny. It's funny. It's so funny that when I do guides, every time I do a guide, right? Like people criticize the way I do my guides about how do you don't own the character. You don't own the character, so how would you know? It's like, I don't know. Maybe because they said scales of attack, so
equipping her for high attack is recommended.
This guy must be a fucking rocket scientist. I don't know. I'm just saying, sometimes this stuff isn't rocket science. It's not that hard to know what you should put on a character. Some characters have some unique stuff, and then you do a little bit more research on it. But outside of that, most of the time, it's pretty self-explanatory. And I'm just gonna say this, that guides are for people that need help, and I feel like most people that don't like guides don't need the help in the first place. But anyway, let's go look at the girl. Let's look at her skills, which we already heard her skills, but let's look at the little breakdown. Let's look at this loading screen, and this is why I popped this out to the side. But we're not gonna talk about that. It's positivity all day, baby. So she is an ice mage, which is very interesting. Now it's like dizzy. They were like, yo, we had another ice mage in the works. I find that very strange. She looks like, I would have actually expected even fire or even earth, because she has like a little flower thing here. So maybe like an earth mage, and there's not that much earth mage representation. She didn't even have to be water. That's just they decided. Like nothing that she did specifically reminded me of water type.
Attacks all enemies with a high chance of decreasing defense for 2 turns. The damage dealt by this skill increases every time it is.
So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. You can harp on me all you want, but here we go. So we have ice mage. So I'm not reading that. We're just gonna go here. So the S1 does more damage depending on how low their HP is. Obviously, that's more better. That is better when you are in a dungeon-esque thing. She'll do more damage as they lose health. that's always good. You know, that's always a good thing. The S2 is AoE defense buff plus the fact that it actually gives a barrier. The barrier is, it scales up to, sorry, not scales up, but it scales on her attack. So that's pretty good. So far she has, well, this is a damage ability, this is a damage ability, this is a non-damage ability, this is a support ability. Skill cooldown is decreased by 2 turns. It is a at the lowest 3 turns, so you can get this up. The defense thing is the best part about it. The barriers, I feel like no one has that great of a barrier, but if we look at Ludwig as an example, his barrier is pretty hefty. He gets a really good barrier. It scales off his attack fantastically. So we'll have to see how much it scales off the attack to see how great it is. But obviously right now you're looking at, you know, the attack set automatically, right? This could be crazy. She doesn't buff her own attack, but she is a mage, so you know, we'll look through that. I'll go through all that when I do a upgrade video on her. But like I said, I could probably make one pretty soon. She doesn't seem too crazy. It's more or less going through her base stats and going through her artifacts and stuff like that really show how good the character is. Then the S3 can go down to 4 turns, which is really good because of the cycle, right? Attacks all enemy with the power of ruin, 50% chance, going up to 75% chance. If you Molagore it up, decrease the defense for 2 turns. Then with the awakening, damage dealt increases every time using the skill and can stack up to 3 times. Only 3. I was kind of hoping that it would have more than 3, but I mean, it's still pretty good. 3 times that you use it, it's on a 4-turn cooldown. Definitely not like your PvP like godsend, because I mean, unless she cycles turns, she does have 1 AoE. So if we're just thinking about what is the Necron Undying, like you could think that you might be able to get like an extra turn, but she only has 1 AoE skill, so you can't really even use that. Like, I'm just thinking about the cycle of turns, and I feel like there's no other artifact that a mage has that cycles turns for them like that, except the fact that you can just use Etika Scepter. But Etika Scepter is just an amazing mage artifact regardless of who the hell has it on. So I mean, you could Etika Scepter and then do this, but this is the same thing, not the same thing, but very close to Zeno. Like, you know, Zeno has a S3 that can get stronger based on a certain situation. This situation is much easier to happen. Meanwhile, Zeno's is when they use a support skill. I don't know, I just like that she's an AoE defense buffer, and I've been looking for an AoE defense buffer. There actually are not that many in the game. You have like Crow, you have Maya, like that's there's not much. So she's a really fast defense buffer that actually would help the meta of the game like a lot, because then you'll have a nice little defense buff, cover your team up, you know, especially if you have her on immunity. Yes, I know ML says is still a problem and could just strip the defense buff and put her to sleep, but you know, there is that, you know, at least you have some type of thing. Is her speed is going to be heavily contested. And now this is the Spirit's Breath, the artifact that she's going to be on the banner with, right? So it says 50% chance to decrease the skill cooldown by 1 when using a non-attack skill, going up to 100. This is, I mean, that's obviously what you would use on her, right? But this is only going to trigger on the S1. So this is more like, damn, I can't even think of a mage that has a non-attack skill besides her. But if you were to get 6 copies, which is 1 for the actual thing and then 5 to put into it, that's really strong. So that means that every time she S2s her, you know, so let's say you max Molagore her out, right? So you S3 to start off. Now it's max Molagore, right? So then it's 3 turns. Then you S2. This goes down twice, right? Because it goes down for the actual turn going down and everything. So 3, then 2, 1, and then it's right back up. So it's kind of crazy how efficient this artifact is. But at the same time, like I said, for PvP, you have to pretty much put her in a stall comp, in which she's technically designed to be in some type of stall. She has defense. She has a high scaling barrier that scales off her attack. Why did I say high scaling? I have no idea how high it scales, but I mean, like, it scales off her attack, and her attack will be her best stat. So it is interesting to see that. I mean, you could just run her as a legitimate support if you wanted to. Just run her as a defense barrier with a, you know, the ability to lower her own cooldowns. But I don't know, I gotta look at all the other mage artifacts to really make a decision on, because the odds of, like I said, I don't get any of the artifacts. I pray upon a magical star that I get the artifact that drops on the banner. I didn't get 1 Necro Undying. I got about 4 dizzies, I think. I got like 4 dizzies. I didn't get 1 Necro Undying, and I wanted it just to finish out the collab event. They would not give it to me. Just wouldn't give it to me at all. So I'm very interested to see how people, I know people are going to wail for it. I think just from what it does, it's good to have this. Same thing with Necro Undyne. It's just a really good artifact to have for the future, because there might be more mages that they might release. Remember, there was the other chick in the trailer, not this trailer obviously, but the other one, the season 2 episode 2 trailer, that she might be a mage too, and she might have a non-attack skill, and she might really benefit off of this, or she might come with her own artifact. So who knows, man, where this can take. Can someone in the comment section just tell me a mage that has a non-attack skill? Like, I'm trying to think of one. I mean, maybe there's a, no, even Aether, guided Aether, is everything he does is an attack. I'm trying to think, like, I really can't think of it, a non-attack skill mage. Who the hell is a non-attack skill mage? I know someone in the chat, in the thing is in like, you blah blah blah, you idiot. I'll figure it out later once I'm done editing, putting everything together. Then all of a sudden I'll have this magical, and like, duh, you idiot. But I can't think of one. I think she might be the only one. But yeah, pretty cool. The fact that she's ice is pretty good as well, because ice is pretty good in the meta right now. There's not too much earth to disrupt you, and a lot of other great characters in the game are ice too, so you don't have to worry too much about that. So it's very likely she'll land her defense break, and if she's up there with speed, you can definitely possibly get her and Dizzy defense breaking, attack break, speed break, and missing, like the ability to miss, and then on top of that extend it. Like, oof. I mean, she has a lot of, we'll have to go through that too, like other things too. And now I know how this guy's name is, Straze. I was definitely calling him Straz, but Straze. Yeah, he is, it is him. It's now it's definitely confirmed that it's him. He is the Black Knight. He is the destroyer of worlds, the destroyer of gods, and all that other cool stuff. So it's cool. So someone else is pissed about it. If you guys didn't know, Watcher Shuri and Assassin Katuja are also pissed with him. So yeah, the list goes on. This guy is just going around the world, just pissing people off, or the universes at that point, right? So yeah, that's it for me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think of her, LULUCA. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that she is worth the summon? Save the summons. Maybe these other guys. They definitely said they'll show the case of at least 3 characters, guys. So keep that in mind. And this one is not limited. So is she worth you to spend this now, or do you think you should skip her? That there might be someone stronger down the line. I'm summoning for her because yeah, why not? She looks pretty cool, and I always summon for the new characters if I can. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Also, I will be trying out Overhit. A little tidbit there. I'll be trying out Overhit very soon. Look forward to that. Bye-bye.